Hey, good morning. I'm John Rhoads. This is Rhoads Life Coaching. And this morning I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about how we understand rest. Our culture, and I've talked about this previously, our culture prides itself on how busy we are. We fill up as much as we can into any day or moment, and we keep ourselves busy, and we frequently neglect the fact that as human beings, it is an important part of our cycle, of our daily lives and our health and well-being that we rest. Thinking of your lawnmower that's a machine, it doesn't need to rest. It will run until it needs to be refueled or it needs repaired and maintained. You're different than from your lawnmower, though, in that, yes, you do need to be refueled and maintained, but you also need to rest, and that machine doesn't. An example of this is that we are able to take ourselves on a vacation and recreate and pack as much into that vacation as possible and still come back with the feeling and understanding and mindset that we need to rest and recover from our vacation. And I've talked about that before, of that recreation and resting are two different things. But as a human being, as a biological function, it is critical that we find time to rest. And understanding what rest is important, because we frequently forget that being busy and having something to do is different than rest, and that even sleeping can be different than rest. Yes, sleeping is resting, but resting is being idle. Resting is finding time for our brain and our bodies and our emotions to slow down and expand for a little bit so that they don't have to be cranked up as much all the time. And we benefit from that. There is a tangible, emotional and intellectual and physical benefit of taking time to rest and slow down, independent of sleeping. So where does that happen for you? And I would bet that for most of us, that's something that we are deficient in. Just like a vitamin or eating your vegetables, we're deficient in rest. So how do you understand what rest is? It may be a foreign concept to you. How do you find ways to rest for yourself? Creating some pause, creating some slowing down. For some of us, that's through meditation. It might be through yoga. It might be going to a worship service. But figuring out some way to come to a full stop is a difficult thing for a lot of us. And my challenge to you is to look at that as something that almost needs to be scheduled into your daily life to make it happen. And looking for the way that you feel different about even practicing resting. There's an idea. Practicing resting and making that something of a habit of what would happen if you just took a 5 or 10 minute rest on a regular basis, or that one day a week was designated for some form of rest. That sounds like a radical idea, but there are benefits that you're missing out on of making the other days better, the other events better, by not being rested going in. My challenge to you in the next few weeks is to take some time and dabble with practicing resting and seeing what happens. As always, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have about that or talk about how to make that a part of your daily life. Please feel free to comment below and add any suggestions or thoughts you may have or questions. But I'm John Rhoads. This is Rhoads Life Coaching. I hope you're able to find purpose and meaning in daily life.